All right, so how do you name a home-based baking business? So naming your home-based baking business is an exciting step. A good name can actually help communicate style, values, and uniqueness of your business. Here's a step-by-step video on how to come up with a great name. But first off, determine your unique selling proposition, your USP. What makes your home baking business different than others who are local? Are you using only organic ingredients? Do you actually specialize in gluten-free or even vegan treats? These are also a great demographic to sell your products to. Is there a particular type of cuisine or heritage you want to highlight within your baking business? Next up, brainstorming. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to show you something here on my laptop that's going to give you 500 or even 1,000 different name ideas in a matter of seconds. Stay with me all the way to the end of this video. I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step tutorial on how this software actually works, and you can use it actually for free, or you can pay for it if you like. But this software will give you some brainstorming ideas, and I'm going to show you some amazing ways that you can actually use this. Now, you can use obviously the software or write down some words that are related to the baking business that you have in mind. You want to include words that you use in your USP, and here's what I mean. Think of emotions or experiences that you want to invoke. Believe it or not, food actually invokes a lot of emotion in a lot of people. Consider using your own name or even the location of your business from home. Also, check the availability. Keep in mind that as you brainstorm names, you want to make sure to check if the domain name is available. And by the way, I'll go into that even deeper in one moment. I'll give you an explanation when I'm showing you the software. So you want to ensure that it isn't already trademarked or even heavily used by other name businesses, especially within your local locality or even localized business area. Now, next up, you want to keep it simple. You want to choose a name that's actually easy to spell and, of course, pronounce. Making it more difficult for your customers to remember or say might actually hinder your business. Avoid long names and names that are too complex or too involved. The simpler, the easier it is for you to remember. Get some feedback too. By the way, share your top name choices with your friends or family to get some potential feedback and see if they actually like it or if it's something that resonates with them. Next up, consider future growth. So think about how the name will fit if you actually expand your business into baked goods of all kinds. For instance, if you say Sally's Cupcakes, but later decide to sell cookies and pies, that may limit the ability for you to transition that name into something that's memorable. Next up, the legalities. So depending on where you live, there might be some rules about naming home-based businesses. Some places not only allow you to use words like bakery unless you mean specific requirements in order for that to happen. And then personal touch. Now, adding a personal touch to your business name can actually help create a connection with your customers, believe it or not. And this could be a reference to a family tradition, maybe even some beloved baked good tools, or a memory that inspired you to start your baking business when you were a kid. Now, inspiration from other languages. This is actually really unique too. This is something that I love to talk about. Relevant personal stories or baking history that have something to it that are in a different language may actually help remember your name. So finally, a checklist. Let's go through this really quick. Is the name memorable? You want to make sure that it's short, sweet, and to the point, but it's something catchy. Does it convey the essence of really your business and the mission that you have for your business and your baked goods? Is it easy to spell and pronounce? Because that's going to lend itself to easily being remembered. Now, can it be easily turned into a logo or a brand imagery? That is something that's also super unique. Now, let's dive into down below here. I've actually got my laptop open, and I'm going to show you the software. Literally will generate you thousands if you want within a matter of a couple of keystrokes. All right, so as I mentioned, I've got my laptop open. So the second half of this video is going to be the part that's the most interesting and obviously where the name generation comes from. So we've got ChatGPT open here. This is a software that I have talked about quite frequently recently, actually, here on Marketing Food Online. So in this video specifically, I was going to give you some great tips on how to use this to create names for your home-based baking. All right, so I have a bakery business at home. I need name ideas for the business. Can you create 50 names I could potentially use? Now, as I mentioned before in my other videos, it is very important to understand how to actually prompt ChatGPT, meaning how do you give it the questions? The way you word the question is extremely, extremely careful, very important part of it. So this is going to give it some great ideas. Let's see if we can pop out 50 different names for a home-based business. Here we go. Now, there is, like I mentioned, a free version of this, by the way, while it's coming up with some great names. The free version, you get access to ChatGPT 3.5, I believe it is. Now, the ChatGPT 4, which is actually what is generating right now, This is the most latest version, I guess you can say, that actually can give you some amazing ideas as well. I pay $20 a month to have this specifically because I want access to ChatGPT4. So this will come up with literally 50 names. Now, as I mentioned before in the introduction, there's couple things that you need to know about. And these are the three things I wanted to discuss that are very important when you're doing this name search. Number one, you want to make sure you check with your state to see if these names in particular, if you find one that you like, these names are not taken or they're not already used for an LLC within your state. Okay, that is a name search. That's number one. Number two, you want to find out too if these names can be used as domain names. Now, obviously, if you name your business, it is even better to have a domain name that can utilize the name. So, if it was Damien's Cookie Company, I'd love to have damienscookiecompany.com as my website name, obviously. So that is number two. And number three, again, you want to have this help you brainstorm, but find something that really reflects truly what you want your business to convey. Your business name is very crucial. It can set the pivotal point for branding, for marketing, for advertising, for everything about from expanding your business from a home-based bakery into a commercial kitchen. So if you find a name, it's great, but you really want to find a name that's something that really reflects what you want to do. Don't just pick the first one. So as I mentioned before in the thumbnail, you saw 500. Well, guess what? This is not limited to 50. So I need 50 more. Now, I'm not going to go through and waste another 10 or 12 minutes going through the entire thing. You can see obviously what I'm doing here. If you need 50 more, ask it to do 50 more. It can create you 500. It can create you 1,000. Okay, that's obviously a lot. But if you find within 250 of them, you find the one that you need, then awesome, you've done. Now, one thing I was going to tell you that's really cool about ChatGPT, you can type in a criteria. So if you have a certain type of baked goods that you're actually selling, believe it or not, you can tell ChatGPT that, and the name will reflect that actual criteria. So if you're into making mini pies, you could put, hey, I make miniature size pies, make something that sounds with that criteria or that type of a name that reflects pies. Anything that you think of, you want to type it right in here. Okay. So there you go. There's already 100. Now you can keep doing this, like I said, the 500, 600, however many you want. But coming up with a lot of beautiful names for your baked goods is easier now with ChatGPT. So really quick video. That's the video. Really fast and simple. You can come up with some beautiful names. You don't have to brainstorm yourself. Find some of these. And remember, you want to check all of these into domains. If you can get ovenbracebakes.com, fantastic. If you can't, then you need to come up with something else. Obviously, too, if homespun sugar spun is something in your state that's taken, you can't use that as a business name. Do keep that in mind, too. So you don't want to create your LLC just yet. You want to make sure that you can get one of these names. Okay? So that is how you come up with 500 or more baking business, home-based business names in a matter of seconds. If you've got questions, let me know down below. If this video was helpful, do give us a big thumbs up. And let me know any questions that you have about a home-based baking business. We love to create content around your questions here on Marketing Food Online. So if you've got questions, let me know, and we'll do our best to answer those. And I'll see you on our next video.